1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's up, yo? It's Tone Starks in the building. You know what it is, nigga. It's Gully TV. We out here. Let's do what we do.
My man.
Yeah.
YNX.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace,
Peace. What's going on, Pillmatic?
Appreciate you, man. I'm good. How you?
How you been?
I've been
Working,
busy. Yes, sir.
Full time and shit.
Yes, sir.
How you been though? You just came out of a catastrophe.
Yeah, man.
Worldly recognized catastrophe. Let's talk about it.
It definitely was a mental toll. You know what I mean? We lost a lot of people in the midst of the storm. So, you know what I mean? I definitely send my condolences. And it's been a long year for Buffalo in general.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had the mass shooting. Then we had, you know, like I said, the storm, and then as well as the Bills player, the 24-year-old. Gratefully, he was able to pull it through. Yeah. Damar Hamlin, and so yeah, and on top of that, just other lively things going on. And I just been again just trying to keep my mental sane, and definitely grateful for music so I can vent my issues. You know what I mean?
Okay. In totality, how many casualties? What was the final count?
Unfortunately, I'm hearing that they were hiding numbers. Yeah, I mean, well, not hiding numbers, but not releasing like the true numbers because they were still trying to identify according to the news. So last I heard it was 40. You know what I'm saying? A few people passed away in their car. Some people just, you know, were stuck in the weather, and unfortunately they didn't make it out. You know what I mean? So,
where you was at when this happened?
So I was at my crib. You know what I mean? I stay like right between the like the east side border where it goes into Cheektowaga, so like we got hit bad. You know what I mean? I couldn't get out my door. The garage, pretty much the snow was like 4 feet up to my garage, so it was pretty much I had to sit still for like 4 days straight. 4 days. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a minute.
How many rhymes did you write in 4 days?
Man,
could you focus?
It was just too much mentally going on, so like I didn't really write any rhymes, but I was making beats. So I just recently started getting into like seriously trying to get into making beats. You know, with my free time just to stay productive. So I was doing searching a lot of samples. You know what I mean? Trying to work on how to properly loop a sample. You know what I mean? So that was what I was doing most of the time. You know what I mean? Sipping. You know what I mean? Just smoking. So that was pretty much it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where were you at when the storm hit?
So I went out the night before. Me and my girl, we went to like just get a drink and something to eat. That was a Thursday, and Friday night I went in, and then so like 12 midnight, that's when everything started happening. I think it was thunder and snow. You know what I mean? Along with the wind blowing with the blizzard. So that combination was crazy. I never seen nothing like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did the city react from what you could see from your home?
In my opinion, they didn't prepare. You know what I mean? This happens year after year. You know what I mean? We're warned about a storm. So if it's happening, you know it's Buffalo, you know what I mean? So it's snow all year, you know, it's snow consistently. So I would think that the people that are in leadership would have knew to have everything prepared. But again, everything was late. So pretty much we had to, again, sit down for 2 days straight. They didn't even send the plows out, you know what I mean? So like, it was, because it was accumulating. But, you know, what they do in Buffalo, as I notice, is they don't go out, even with people, regular, normal people, they're not gonna go shovel because it's still snowing.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like if they would have plowed, we wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have been as bad as far as the people's houses being buried, etc.
So kind of what you explained,
right?
The city strategy normally is to wait until the storm stops and then attack it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Which I don't think that's a good course of action, just because we know that we go through this constantly. You know what I mean? So they should already have plow trucks already out ready.
Right.
In my opinion, you know what I mean? But yeah, it got real. They brought, you know what I mean? They had I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the state police that came. They had snowmobiles, and what was ironic was we just had a snowstorm previous to this one, and I heard somebody riding down my street with a snowmobile.
Right. I'm
like, why son got a snowmobile? It was just a regular dude. Ironically, fast forward now, the snowmobiles is what's saving people because can't nobody get through the snow.
So you seen somebody out there
with
alone
on a snowmobile,
yeah, moving around,
and I heard so.
Oh, you can hear it.
I heard it.
Yeah.
And then when I came outside, I seen the tracks because he was just riding on the sidewalk, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I started watching the news, I noticed that state police were on them. You know what I mean? And be honest, nobody on the east side got no snowmobiles. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like, they but it's not, now it's a thought, like maybe the city should adapt that.
An emergency.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Because we had to call for the National Guard had to come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even the first responders couldn't really maneuver. So it was a
When
crazy
the National
event.
Guard came,
Yeah.
it was, at that point, it was law for people to stay inside, right?
Yeah, so they had a so when we were talking about the snow accumulating and they were gonna go out, so they were doing traveling bans basically so they can get to the street, because people were traveling and getting stuck. So now that
Getting
kind
in the way.
Right, because now that prolonged them being able to plow the streets.
Right.
So that's pretty much what took place at that point, and they came out and tried to get to work, and then it was like mad cars abandoned everywhere.
Life after the storm.
Yeah, it was yeah.
God bless Buffalo.
Definitely.
I hope everybody, begins the healing process.
Appreciate it,
It's
definitely.
terrible to imagine being in that type of situation.
Absolutely.
But
Sure.
music.
Yes, sir.
Last time you was here, you gave me a dope freestyle.
For sure.
You dropped off a music video.
Yes, sir.
But our interview, it didn't have a whole bunch of potency because your
Right.
overall history wasn't all the way decorated.
Right.
You done ran a couple laps around the track since then and shit.
Yeah, I added some more to the list.
So tell me what's been going
So
on
yeah,
since the
man,
last interview.
it's been moving. I'm full-time artist now. So when I went full-time, I got an opportunity, and I went full-time as an artist, and everything just started falling into place. I opened up for Method Man and Redman. I went and traveled out to Miami and Orlando, and I opened up for Conway the Machine on both of those days. So that was like towards the end of the year. I think I probably did yours. We were coming to like the summer, so I was just pretty much doing shows.
Right.
I was in Rochester, did a few joints. I did a festival in Buffalo, so I was just pretty much staying busy. And then I dropped 2 albums, Dusty Souls with my boy Kill Ali, and then I dropped Sincere, which is based around the character that Nas played in Belly. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much took the ending of when he was talking about going back to Africa, and I just kind of flipped it and put my own flavor and my own touch to it. So I related to the character,
Right.
as well as the definition of sincere, because I'm usually always the voice of reason.
You have a lot of, based on perception,
Word.
from the outside looking in, it seems like you have a lot of Nas-inspired criteria.
Right.
That's not a coincidence. That's somebody
So
who
it's-
really inspires you. Because I know you did
Right.
Project Windows.
Right. So yeah, I got a video for Project Windows, and I pretty much use it because sounding like somebody, because our voices are the same. We don't necessarily got the same flow, but we have like a similar voice tone. So that's where a lot of the comparison comes in. So what I do is I use that as marketing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get negative comments like, yo, such and such, you don't sound like that. But sometimes people need another artist to resonate to somebody they never heard of. You know what I mean? So like that's why usually when people be like, yo, you sound like Nas, and then I'll come and I'll drop a Sincere project, this project Sincere based off him.
Right.
And if it's somebody that never heard of me before, if they think that I sound like Nas, it's gonna fuck them up. Like, yo, he kind of sound like Nas, and he did a project based around it. So I just use that as marketing around it to brand myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, it's working too, cause like a lot of my stuff is trial and error. So I drop around the same time Nas drop. You know what I mean? So if Nas drop an album, I'll either freestyle to one of the album cuts, or I'll drop a project around it.
Yeah.
So when I dropped Project Window around the time when him and Hit Boy just dropped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? King's Disease 3. So I dropped that joint just to promote it, because Nas is there.
Right.
They're talking about it right now. So, you know what I mean? That's just a segue to somebody. Either they gonna like it or they won't.
I'm telling you now, you swim in heavy shark water.
Word.
Shark water.
Word.
Because fans,
Exactly.
shark water.
Exactly.
And comparison, shark
Yeah.
water, the magnitude.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Make sure you bring that shit.
That's
And I
every
think
time.
that's the only thing that could repel the attacks.
So like, I understand, like, I understand music as a business aspect, and you can't be too emotional in it. So I purposely put myself in like uncomfortable situations. You know what I'm saying? I got a single that I dropped called 97 Nas. You know what I mean? And this was like 3-4 years ago. And I knew it was gonna get backlash because Benny got a joint called 97 Hove. You know what I mean? So when I dropped that, I was already prepared for the negative comments, but still, I still can make a few fans from it.
Right.
It was more impact more than anything. You know what I mean? I reached out to Vinny for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I made it because when I was younger, I used to record with Shay. You know what I mean? When I was like 14, so like we used to, me and my boys that I rap, we used to look up to Benny because he was like doing everything.
Benny's a cool nigga.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
Yeah.
He's a cool
Word,
nigga.
word.
Real regular.
Yeah.
Regular
Down to earth, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
regular.
And then we ran into him at the studio and shit, so it was like, it's just all love, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to utilize and seeing what's work, what doesn't, and just keep pushing.
Right. No doubt.
For sure.
Pillmatic.
Yes, sir.
What happened? Tell me what's
Pillmatic.
going on with Pillmatic,
Pillmatic, man.
Did you know what you was coming into?
Word.
Shark water too, nigga.
Word.
We
Yo,
sharks.
I already knew. Cause you know what it was. Like I really was patient with the Pillmatic joint because I wanted to get on the joint, but I didn't. I knew that he was already like. I knew Gully was already in the midst of getting it all together.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put it out there, and I just let the universe pretty much do the rest.
Right.
Around that time, I ended up doing the interview and the freestyle when you was getting ready to drop it.
Yeah.
And I think either you or PA reached out to me, like, yo, here go the beat, throw your verse. I think Smooth verse was already on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I went off of his last word. You know what I mean? So like, usually that's what I do. Like if I do like a collab, I'll use the last person word to try to start my shit off. You know what I'm saying? So like his last line was that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I came in like that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Basically responding and shit. Just to get the storyline. You know what I mean?
No
But yeah, dope project.
You know Smooth prior to getting on the track with him?
I didn't. I've heard of him.
Yeah.
And but you know, and I hear him on a lot of tracks with I can't think of his name offhand.
Huss?
Yeah, Huss Kingpin, another fire artist. I heard him and their chemistry on their projects and
Long Island.
Yeah, so like I was always listening. You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely tuned into the underground. But when I heard it, because usually it happens. Like if I'm doing a feature, either I'll end up with it on a feature with somebody that's like, you know what I mean, that's one of the heavy hitters in the underground. Right. And I'll always, you know what I mean, end up on the records. Like I did a feature a minute ago, and like Ito was on it, and then this joint with Smooth and the other. He from Detroit. What's it?
Who was it, pre-made?
He on the last verse.
I can't remember his name.
Detroit. Ty Ferris.
Ty Ferris.
Yeah. So like I was tapped into him too when I heard. Well, I didn't know he was on it actually. I only heard the Smooth joint, and then when it dropped, I was like, oh, this dope. That's a dope combination.
Everything that I had heard from Smooth prior to that was smooth. Yeah, it was smooth.
Yeah.
Like, you carry that, right?
Facts.
This one, when I heard it, because I didn't hear it until it was done.
Okay.
He sent his verse in.
Right.
I never heard it.
Yeah.
He sent him to Dre. And Dre would let me hear verses, but for whatever reason, I didn't ask about Smooths. I was just moving fast.
Yeah.
When I heard that shit, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
He gave me a good one.
Hell yeah.
So when you heard that shit, what did you say when you heard that shit?
I'm like, man.
It's come behind that.
Go crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, that's why you get kind of like, you get like an event, a little bit in the more time to think when somebody already got the verse on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it ain't no go back and because there've been like previous occasions where and when I used to rap when I was younger, like my boy will go first, or I'll go first, and then he'll come with a crazy verse, and I'll be like, damn, maybe I gotta rewrite my shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's all in the sport, man. I think we definitely had a good chemistry on that joint amongst the four of us on it for sure. No doubt. Definitely.
Overall, when the project came out and you heard it, was you shocked, bro? Did you underestimate the dribble?
I did. I'm not gonna hold you because I was tapped into like some of the artists that were on it, so that I kind of had an idea of what their sound was. Yeah. And I know that you got an executive producer ear, so I know that you're complimenting them with their sound. But when I heard the other joints, like the intro, and it's a one joint with an individual singing on it. When I heard that, I'm like, this is a classic.
You talk about Big Ooh joint.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Blowing the fuck out there.
Yeah. So like
Big Rube from Outkast.
Yep. That's the one.
Dre met him.
Yeah.
I talked to him. I interviewed him. We built. We got a chemistry. What I liked about I gotta say, everybody, man,
Yeah.
they understand what I be saying when I be saying the dribble.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's multifaceted.
Exactly.
You could apply. It has dimensions.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? But people pick up on that shit, man. Like, when them niggas was sending their verses back, man, and putting the dribble in the verses and shit like that, and putting it in the right context and shit like that, I'm like, they're getting it. They're getting the message.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But Big Rube, he did a spoken word joint, and it just made total basketball sense, and it sounded empowering.
I heard that joint too. Yeah, that intro was crazy. Yeah, I got it. That's a classic joint. That's a joint that you can continuously revisit and still get that same, you know what I mean, that same feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why you're here, man. To support the whole movement, man.
You already.
Can't wait to see you in the
yeah, you already know.
What I mean?
I got some videos I'm about to shoot, so I'm about to definitely throw this joint on. The color wave is fire. You know what I mean? I have a red, white, and blue hat like this.
Yeah,
the
YNX Talks, man. I got a cover,
yeah, you already know.
I got you, my nigga. I do a cover. Come on, my nigga. It's the trouble, my nigga.
You on point.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
We'll get you a nice,
definitely.
you know.
Hell yeah.
Something with that
Definitely.
and shit.
I'm definitely gonna freak it.
Starter jacket.
Hell yeah.
But man, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Remember
man.
what I told you, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
the niggas, man. Like,
Definitely.
we ain't looking to be stars, man. We done already made it,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? People don't say it to me as much no more. My niggas used to say, man, when you blow, man, when you blow.
Right. You're already there.
They stopped saying that shit.
Because you there. You know what I mean? It ain't much more,
man,
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Fighting through the screens and shit. Dribble was perfected, man. It's a team ball and shit, you know what I mean?
Yes,
everybody on that album got distribution splits.
Yes, sir.
Sent to them. Clarify that.
I can count. Yes.
Clarify that.
Definitely. They sent me my splits immediately, even before the project dropped. So the business is good. You know what I mean? And it's, again, make sure y'all check out that Pillmatic album. I'm telling you right now, it's like I said, I have an ear for music. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on my highest level yet, which meaning like a lot of people may not know who I am right now, but like Gully said in the first interview, like it may take a minute to catch on. You know what I mean? But it's gonna happen.
How important is it to be registered?
It's very important. You know what I mean? And having some type of knowledge of the business to where you can actually pose that question to who you doing the business with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I've done a lot of stuff for free on the come up.
Yeah.
And when you maneuvering through it, you're gonna do a lot of stuff for free. A lot of the stuff on the front is not gonna be paid. Right. But it's gonna come back down the line because of the work that you putting in. Right. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. That's why I'm still pushing. And even if like, you know what I mean, even if because it ain't always like cut and dry, like, okay, this is going, you know what I mean? As an entrepreneur, it's up and down. You know what I mean? Some days it's lit, some weeks it's not. You know what I mean? You just got to be able to still stay proactive. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Shout out to BMI,
Definitely.
Distro
ASCAP, you know what I mean? Check me out, y.n.x.716 on all streaming. You know what I mean? Instagram, YNX716. You can pretty much find me everywhere. I got an album coming soon called Poison Story, man. Make sure y'all check that out. Definitely an album that I work hard on, and I look forward to y'all hearing it, man.
Dribble is immaculate, man.
Yes, sir.
Shit is forever.
Love.
You know what I mean? Dribble is immaculate,
sir.
man.
Gully TV, man. Thank you, Gully. Real talk.
Yes,
sir. Thank you for giving me the platform.